All right, hello and welcome back to the best player ever plays games. I with
With
Neil,
more
aka the
death.
best player ever, and some other guy,
And death. Lots of death. And dab. And
and
dab.
Dab, and Dab, 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 Dab. Um, so now I actually go into the mines, uh,
Praise the mother goddess.
and there's some elves here, and they're
Ah, so
happy to
we
be let
saved
out.
them.
Fresh air for days.
Ooh, gold. Now the gold is in the slug. Okay, that's how that works.
Get that gold back, my darling lord, and buy me some pretty things.
Pretty sure I've bought all the pretty things.
Does Rose actually also ask you to buy her pretty
Uh-huh.
things?
Yep. I mean, they are sisters, you know.
That is true, but I would have expected them to, well, maybe have different tastes and different
Yes,
requirements.
they are very different things that they each of them offers. Um,
No, I mean
I'm
like
trying to get things. Like you don't have a torture chamber if you go with Rose.
that makes sense.
Also, yes, when minions are eaten, they cannot be revived, and and also
That makes
greens
sense.
sometimes glitch out and just sort of they get thrown off and they just sort of hang out.
I already jumped. I don't need to do anything anymore. I already did my job. I can die.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna hang out here. Yeah, he's right over there, but he didn't trigger. Oh, now he triggered us. Okay. But yeah,
Maybe they were
greens are basically the
just a
key to
bit
killing
too
things.
far away.
Um, and we will need more money actually, because if you recall, we didn't upgrade the greens and reds, and I want to do that. So, but this entire area is optional.
Deeper in the mine.
The only reason to do this section is
Rather
to get
die
gold
For
and
gold.
see some
Belly
cutscenes.
than let Goldo have it. His greed has cost too many lives.
And also, that guy's got the greatest voice modulation since Laura Bow.
Since Laura Bow's boyfriend.
Laura Bow's bow, yeah.
Laura, you look lovely tonight.
That that guy's voice though. Like they couldn't have modulated it more fakely if they
I
tried.
just, I just had to see you, Laura. I traded all my belongings to get in here.
Anyway.
That does not make it any suspicious, does it? I am not the prime suspect, am I?
Anyway, so, and I don't know. I feel like there's just more character to the dwarf sections. They look distinctly dwarven and less just kind of gloomy.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said before, it's not the typical Lord of the Rings style gloominess. It's
Right.
like
There's a
the
good variety here.
and the caves are actually pretty well lit.
Mm-hmm. So you can actually see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is all optional, and if you don't do it, the only downside is you miss out on a chance to be evil or good.
I do
And
like
some
how
gold.
they introduced the fact that there is a fire spewing guy over there.
Mhm.
Just by having a slug walk over there and get killed immediately.
Yeah, yeah. While some elements
Hey.
of polish are definitely lacking, there was thought put into this.
Yeah, it's like so you don't actually walk into it and get killed immediately because he has long range.
Mm-hmm. Although that was not the flamethrower guy, that was the rifleman.
You choose all.
And here I
Well,
think,
something
oh,
that shoots fire.
I'm not even gonna bother. Yeah, okay, go on the barrier. Thanks, minions. I'm not even going to bother with those explosives this time. I'm just going to rush these people down. Oh! One of my reds hit it on accident. Go, reds. That's what another thing that makes reds really useless. They have to have line of sight, essentially, to throw their fireballs at something. And they will just stop and throw even if they don't.
Lots of gold.
Yeah, this is we're gonna get like as much gold mission basically as we got in the entire game, leading up to it.
So they kind of.
It is an optional mission, but yeah, they make it so that if you just do this mission, you'll have all the gold that you need
for your waifu.
For your waifu, right? You didn't, so I didn't actually have to grind gold earlier, but I have an addiction to gold in video games, so it's just my thing. But it is kind of interesting that
there isn't any
they,
alcohol around here.
Yeah, there isn't any alcohol around here, and that makes it much easier because when we go later and we're in the brewery areas, dwarves are much. You got to manage your fights much more carefully. But here I'm going to trust those minions to find their way home, because there's nothing in between here and there, and I'm sick of walking behind minions carrying things.
They're not going to find their way home.
I have to believe, Nico.
I don't.
See, now I have 44 red ones. I've been getting those reds.
Thankfully, even though the minions die really easily, they actually fought to make it really easy to get more.
Yeah, it is a punishment. Like, having to grind is not something you want to do, but it's not so bad that you're like, I'm going to stop playing this game because I'd have to grind that for forever. It's just like, I have to spend maybe 10 minutes right now, at most, grinding out some minions.
Yeah, and like you find enough doing missions, so even if several of them die to a hard encounter, you will likely get at least half of them back.
Sure. The only reason that I need to grind in this game is because I had all of them die like 4 times in a row. But that's just me.
By the way, if you die, does it actually keep your... That was hilarious.
You got hit by a... You know when you get hit by a gun and you go up into the air really high like that?
Yeah, 90 degrees into the air. But no, what I mean is, when you die, like, completely, like, get killed as the Overlord, does your progress actually stick, or do you have to redo everything?
There's autosaves, and if you've hit an autosave, then your progress sticks.
Okay.
Help us. Help us.
That lip sync.
We don't want it.
You're beyond help.
Slay those beasts and free us.
You're beyond help. That lip syncing is...
Yeah, clearly they aren't. They actually were killed a long time ago. Now Necromancer, it's using their corpse.
I mean, we do know that elves can be ghosts.
That's true.
And witches will not be climbing.
But I don't remember if it's happened yet. Did those minions ever actually get that thing back to the portal? I sent them off like 5 minutes ago.
And that one was eaten.
Yeah, and these are pretty tough, and the bombs aren't actually that effective, as you can see.
They really aren't.
And they can just come right up here. I thought that they were...
Bullshit.
Yeah, I thought they were limited to being down there, but they are not. They can just come all the way right on up here. So we're gonna have to take care of that later. Let's go check in on what else is around here. Like, hey, look, some gold and a little health place. That's nice. That's definitely not a giant evil slug monster that's gonna. Okay, well, you know
At
what?
least they don't eat you whole.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to do this the good old-fashioned way,
With fire.
and so that's why you leave the flamethrower on, because then when you make really dumb mistakes, it can fix problems as long as you have mana.
You can fix mistakes with fire, the preferable way. And then you can give up your last minion to get restored very
All right,
slightly.
let's go check in on those minions because they're still alive. It says that there's 9, and that's how many we left on that minecart. But
They
apparently
probably
they,
encountered a pebble along the way.
yeah, apparently something got in their way. I'm not even certain, actually. It might have been that they ran to the edge of where it had rendered, basically. And I had to walk back towards them in order for their path to exist.
I don't think so, although at the same time, we've seen weirder things. They don't need much of a reason to stop carrying what you tell them to.
But no, they had dropped it off, and their pathfinding just couldn't figure out how to get back because I was too far
I
away.
can kind of understand that.
Mm-hmm. So that is the thing. Yes, they can pathfind their way back to the thing, the teleporter, but they can't necessarily pathfind their way back to you after that.
Yeah. Which is what I was gonna actually bring up with their with the difficulty. Well, wow, you have a lot of greens.
Yeah.
Well, it like they don't really punish you for minions dying too hard. Whereas in Pikmin, you not only had to go way out of your way to make more,
Oh, true.
Specifically set up Pikmins to pick up
Carry
more.
things back. Right.
To
In this
carry-
one,
to-
you just pick up the life force after you defeated enemies. don't
Yeah,
have to
which is
carry the
something
corpse back.
you're gonna do anyway.
Right.
And also, it's a lot more punishing for you to, lose out all of the Pikmins because regaining the same type from scratch. Have you ever had to do that?
Yes. Yes, I have.
It's,
Now we...
especially in the first one, it's pretty much a game over at that point.
Yes. That happened to me multiple times. And it was just like one careless mistake. But instead of killing the slugs first, you can just open that gate, and then all the elves get eaten. And it's super evil. And I have no attachment to the elves anyway, and then they distract so that my minions can whack that slug a bunch.
They served a meaningful purpose in life.
Indeed.
As a destruction to a gigantic slug.
And yeah, you can see how useful greens are once again. Just the best. The best minion.
Really are.
The only situation in which we went browns instead of them is if you're fighting a large number of smaller things. Like with those muskrats. It was nice to have browns there because there were just so many of them and they had to tank the very small amount of damage that they did. Basically.
Yes.
But yeah, we've killed the elves. So we've done mostly evil things. I don't actually remember doing anything good, but there's more evil that we missed out on, basically.
I mean,
And like
we
I
did
said,
a
I'm not
good
gonna go
thing. We
anywhere.
picked up the better waifu.
Yeah, I mean, Velvet is she's really got great brains. That's what I like about Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
Just she got great brain for physics.
Everyone likes gold, sire, but this King Gold
Physics are a mere suggestion to her outfit.
buy around here.
You're blocking their path.
Yeah, I'm trying to get. You see those 2 greens down there? I'm trying to get them back, but I give up because their pathing is just not going to happen. But yeah,
And
so
we're back to the entrance. How nice.
yeah, Good design in this one. I didn't get lost like I did in. But there was another path that I hadn't gone down earlier. But I didn't get lost like I did a lot in the forest. I spared you most of that, but yeah. This is a much smaller area because this isn't the overworld. This is just a side dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
I always wish that you could like push them, or that they would let you assign even more, so that they could actually go at like your walking speed at least.
Yeah.
But no. Now we've got 3 out of 4. There's one more gold cart, and it's down the other fork. But we've done the main. We've done the cutscenes already for this area.
The main
and here you
objective
can really
of
see
this
the draw
location.
distance coming into play.
Well, I mean, you don't need to draw something that's just black, you know? You don't need to draw the darkness.
I finally got my greens back. I think. If they can figure out stairs, which they didn't, but now we got them.
At the very least, they picked the right color for the edge of the world.
It depends on the area you're in. It's like
Yeah.
a blue in the forest. It's black in this cave. It's like a pinkish red in Heaven's Peak. In the city.
Yeah, and it actually like blends and looks natural. It's not like it's just the edge of the world and it becomes white all of the sudden.
Right. They matched it with the color tone of the area.